All right, so today for problem 9-70 from section 931, I'm going to be doing a screencast because a lot of it is done on the Desmos eTool. So notice we're just going to take a brief pause in this section, 9.3.1, to talk about a specific type of histogram called a relative frequency histogram. And it sounds a lot fancier than it actually is. So this week we're focusing on this one. First, we're going to go out of order. So we're going to do 71 and 72 first. Now, what I'd like you to notice is for 971, there's this fabulous thing called the 971 Student eTool. So make sure you click on that because it's really going to walk us through the whole problem. So when you click on it, you will end up over here. And so we can read the problem together. So Visors for Runners, Part 1. The Style and Comfort Headgear Company makes printed visors as gifts for women running in charity marathons. Marathons in different cities have different numbers of participants. S&C Headgear needs a method for deciding how many visors of each size to print for each event. So the company collected the data below for women's head circumference by measuring 40 randomly selected runners at charity events. So from that, it sounds like we're trying to get an idea of, in general, how big are women's heads so we can order the right types of visors. Here we have our data. It listed it out for us. This eTool is amazing. And as a hint, so it wants us to replace all of this. So we're going to take that, and here yours should probably say 1, 2, 3. But you're going to highlight all of it and paste it in. So there should be 40, it should say H equals 40 element list. That way you make sure that you have all of the pieces of data. And then what it does for you, it actually calculates the mean and standard deviation for you, just like it would on a calculator. So if you don't have your calculator and you're not really too interested in learning how to use it, then you can just use Desmos for this. If you are interested in using your calculator for this, there are fantastic videos on YouTube that can show you how to do relative frequency histograms and anything you've ever wanted to do on your calculator. So, Desmos. So what are the mean, head circumference, and standard deviation? So remember, our mean is like the average head circumference. Our standard deviation tells us how far all the data is spread out based on the mean, the center. So it does it for us. So it looks like the mean is about 53.33. So that is the mean circumference of a woman's head from the 40-person sample. And then the standard deviation is 1.12, which means that on average, the data differs by 1.12 centimeters between different women. Okay, so now it wants you to make a histogram. So part B, right? So we already did that. It did it for us. So if you're not seeing a beautiful little histogram like I am seeing over here, you want to go on over to settings and change your axes, right? So you can make sure like you could change it to just be between 50 and 60, for example. And then for the Y values, you want to be looking maybe from like -5. And then it looks like our highest frequency is 17. So about 20 is a good place to go up to. If you want to see the X values here, you want to make your step size 1 so you can see all the individual values. So in case it doesn't show up like that for you, that's how you get this nice histogram. And then you want to sketch it. So on your paper, you can make a sketch of it. So hat size is determined by the whole number portion of a woman's head circumference. For example, if you have a head measuring 55.8, you would need a size 55. So how many women in the sample need a size 52 hat? you want to look at the 52 bin, 52 to 53. So a value like 52.3 would be in this bin. And you'll notice that it goes up to the frequency of 9, which means that there were 9 women in the sample that had that hat size. So that's kind of just helping you read the histogram a little bit better. And then what percent of women in the sample have a hat size less than 54? So to do this, we have to remember that our sample size, right, is 40. They interviewed 40 people, or they took the measurements of 40 women. So to get the proportion, first we're going to have to count up how many people were less than 54. So all of this bin, and this bin. And then we want to divide that by the total number, right, to get the percent, how much of our sample is less than 54. So we counted up here. It looks like we've got 17 plus 9 is 26, plus 5 is 31. And so we can check that for 71, we're doing 5 plus 9 plus 17 divided by 40 to get 77.5%. All right, so that concludes problem 971. Pretty straightforward. Hopefully it felt a little bit like a review. I'm going to make a different video so that I can do a webcam with the whiteboard for problem 972. See you soon.